This is CityCast Twin Cities. I'm Sean McPherson, and here's what the cities are talking about. Tiffany, where do you set your thermostat for the winter?
72 degrees.
All right. Sam, where do you set your thermostat?
It's set for 68 during the day and a nice brisk 65 at night.
Ooh.
And Dean, where do you set your thermostat for the winter?
I am a creature of constants, so I set it at 70 and I don't touch it.
Wow. I
Yep.
feel like my wife sets my thermostat to make me go to bed earlier. Like I just go, no, it's cold. I feel like she's just pushing me to head upstairs. We are chatting with Dean Holt, a longtime member of the Children's Theater Company, Tiffany Bowie, a producer here at CityCast, and Sam Choo, a CityCast contributor who's a longtime local news producer, media consultant, and adjunct journalism professor. Today, we're talking about a lot of stuff. Top holiday markets, a staging of a classic holiday story, some representation problems that are baked right into the public media recipe, and we're also going to hear some Minnesota music that's being released this week. I hate shopping, and I bet a lot of people, I just do. I can't pull punches. I hate shopping. I just struggle with everything. I don't know what to get somebody. I don't know how much to spend on them. And I always feel like what I'm willing to spend on them is less than they deserve. And I also struggle to actually just make the time in my day in those couple weeks leading up to the holidays to actually do it. And then because of all those things I hate, sometimes I don't feel as connected to the holiday spirit until it's like, New Year's Eve. And I'm going, I miss the whole vibe. Maybe what I'm missing is a holiday market. And I am so lucky that Tiffany Bowie has been doing the work of checking out holiday markets all around the Twin Cities. Tiffany, what the hell is a holiday market? I've never been to one. I don't as a man who doesn't like shopping, I don't get it. What is this?
What you are missing from the holiday spirit is a holiday market, Sean. Okay, a holiday market is a collection of many different vendors, ideally they're all local, under one roof. And during the holidays, it's really just another excuse to festively shop local. They'll play holiday music. They'll put the wreaths up, the ornaments up. They'll light a big tree. I love shopping. Okay, I'm very serious about my markets. To pick out the top 3 holiday markets, which I will tell you in a little bit, I went to 6 over the past 2 weekends. I dragged my friends, I dragged my boyfriend, I gathered everyone I could, and they just followed me around as I went to each holiday market. And I really like markets because I'm always at 1 or 2 a month because I just find really cool stuff there. I buy a lot of earrings. I buy a lot of prints. I know Sean's opinion of holiday markets. Dean and Sam, what do you think of them? Is it a must stop for you during the season?
I just have to laugh because this talk, Sean, of you hating all this stuff and Tiffany, how much you love it. I'm like, hey, let's put you both into How the Grinch Stole Christmas and I can have a Who and I can have the Grinch and we'll be set. But yeah, I love the idea of the holiday market. The challenge for me is finding time in the schedule to get there because our show schedule at the theater is so busy that it's hard to find any window of time to shovel your driveway, let alone get to a market. But yeah, I was really curious this year about the one happening at Southdale with the Dayton merchandise and stuff too. So that was kind of a cool thing, which I know probably isn't a traditional holiday market, but I'm curious to hear about what your experience has been.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I'm actually an annual holiday market visitor. So when they used to have the holiday market down at PV Plaza, I would go there. I've gone to the one at Union Depot for a few years in a row. And it's just cool to see all the local stuff that people make for the holidays. And I just walk around with a glass of mulled wine and enjoy myself.
Mulled wine is delicious. I tried some for the first time this weekend, and then I spilled it on my white jacket.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That is, that's terrible.
Yeah. It's okay. It washed right out.
Oh, wow.
Do you guys want to hear my top 3? Because I'm ready to go. Okay. Yes. Let me tell you my criteria first before somebody gets mad at me, okay? I'm ranking holiday spirit, uniqueness of vendors, and location. If you charge me money to walk into this market, I'm turning around and leaving. I'm running away. There are so many going on. It's genuinely overwhelming. So, Dean, I understand if you can't make time or don't even know which one to pick. There are 9 million, and sometimes they're only for one weekend. So I only rank the ones that are happening every weekend all month, so you don't have to pick a day, although there are some really great one-offs if you're very serious about it like I am. My top is probably the European Christmas market at Union Depot. It is so magical. Yep. It is outside, but it's by where the buses are. And there's so many vendors, and each one is inside a little Christmas hut cabin thingy, warming house. There's so much great food. I had a strawberry churro and a spetzel, and they have, Sam, you probably know this, each year they have like an exclusive mug. And so they're very cute, and might be over expensive for some people, but I love an exclusive mug.
Oh, they
and
gotcha.
It's really listen, an exclusive mug will get me. I wanted the Dayton's Bear too, but I couldn't find it. And this is really great for kids because the North Pole Express leaves from the Union Depot, and you get to go visit Santa and take pictures, write a letter to Santa on the way. That's December 5th to 7th, 11th to 14th. Sam, what did you like getting there?
My daughter has gotten little hand-painted Polish mugs and knickknacks. I think we've gotten some soaps, some felted things because my mother-in-law is really into felting. But usually it's just the food for me. Like I'll just grab something, grab a snack, grab a mulled wine, and just walk around following everybody else who wants to go look through all the shops. But it is adorable.
Yes.
What do you have for your number 2 one?
This is the Field and Festival Holiday Market at Wagner's Garden Center. So it's inside a greenhouse. So you get to go shopping amongst all like the plants and beautiful flowers. There's a lot of baked goods and art. Last year I went and I got my friend a succulent plant candle. It looks like a succulent, but it's actually a candle. It's one of the things you just find at a holiday market. The vibes are great in there. Like it's very much similar to any other holiday market you can go to, except for it's in a greenhouse. And that's just like, that's a little magical.
And a little warmer, I'm imagining.
A little warmer, yeah. You don't have to wear snow pants in there. My last one is called Raging Art On at Gamut Gallery. Okay, so it's normally an art gallery, but when you walk in, there's so much art on the walls, and you can just buy it right off the wall. They have 71 local artists and other smaller stuff. So the price range is kind of all over the place depending on where you want. But like if you're looking for a big, nice art piece, that'll cost you a little bit more. But it's all local artists, and it's just like there's something that makes you feel very fancy about pointing at a piece of art on the wall and be like, I would like that one. It's just very unique. And the name is great. It's the best name of a holiday market anywhere.
When you say it's a big price range, can you get something off the wall for sub $100? Is there some stuff that's like, okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, to like $200, $300, $400 for really nice big pieces. Sean, are you convinced?
I am convinced. I have a count. Okay, I'm convinced because I'm failing currently. So it's not like I have a system that works and then you are asking me to add a holiday market to it. And truly, when you add food to something, it sweetens the deal, where I just go, one of the things I don't like about shopping is the absence of food. So you fixed that. So Tiffany, I'm pretty convinced. My counter is like, how is this better than bringing $150 to Patina and getting it all done and going and getting chicken wings next door? And tell me about the Splendor, because I think the Splendor is better at these spots than at Patina. Is that true?
Oh, the Splendor. I do like Patinas. Okay, you could go to Patinas and with $150. I don't know how much you're going to get for $150 at Patina, though, honestly. It's very expensive. But it's not the same je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? Like, okay, these do get packed, but there's like a lot of different things for kids to do. They get to meet Santa. You get to see a nice, beautiful tree lit up. There's a lot more sense of camaraderie. And also, and I cannot stress this enough, you're shopping local. As someone who's been at these markets regularly, I start to like notice the same vendors everywhere. And then I go up to them and I go, I shop at you every time I come here. And they're like, oh my God, thank you. It's just really nice. I feel like a great person for spending money.
Well, and it feels like a vibe thing too. Like, I mean, we're all looking for a vibe in the holidays, and those are the things that make those memories and those traditions for us. So for me, to go to someplace like that feels special and unique and something that I can share with my family and loved ones, I mean, that's what you're searching for.
Yes, exactly.
I've been to many a Patina, and I've never had mulled wine there.
There you go.
I'm just going to throw that out.
Tiffany, pretend for a minute that I'm cheap, because I am. Where do you think my $150 would go the furthest of your top 3?
I would say probably Field and Festival Holiday Market, or some of the smaller holiday markets with smaller vendors who are going to price things a little bit less. A really good place to go to spend that money, also as an honorable mention, is the Handmade Holiday Market at Brewhaven Craft Co. That's through December 20th, but you'll have to look at the website for exact dates. And a lot of it's all handmade by local vendors. And also you can do axe throwing while you're there. So you can spend some of your $150 throwing an axe.
Nice. Don't bring the kids right near the axe part. I'm thinking like, if I'm 2 mulled wines deep and I'm telling my daughter like, just try it. just don't hit your sister or other human beings. You have another honorable mention that you dug but didn't fit the criterion for your top 3, right?
I didn't go to this one yet, so I wasn't able to journalistically and with integrity comment on it. But the No Coast Craftorama at Midtown Global Market, Racket calls it one of the OG holiday markets. It is their 20th and last year. That is Saturday and Sunday, December 6th to 7th. So I will be there to check that out. I love Midtown Global Market.
We want to hear from you. Do you have other tips for amazing holiday markets? Do you know how to get mulled wine out of a jacket? Send us a text. Leave us a voicemail on the CityCast Twin Cities hotline, 612-217-0637. You might hear those suggestions in a future episode. We got more news to discuss. Before we do that, we'll take a quick break. I am the king of last-minute shopping. Sometimes you don't know exactly what you're going to do, and you're running out of ideas, and this is really where Aura Frames can come in. I got this for my parents down in Florida a couple of years ago, and it solves a lot of problems. I don't know what to get for my parents. Usually if there's stuff they want, they just buy it. So this is something that's a little special because you can stuff it with your own photos, family photos, and you can keep on getting those photos into that Aura frame even after it's dropped off. You download the Aura app, you connect it to Wi-Fi, and you can keep on adding it when you're on your vacation and your parents are bugging you to send pictures. Boom, it's one click. Now, for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com, and you'll get $35 off of Aura's best-selling Carver Matte frames. The promo code you want to use is CityCast at checkout. That's AURA frames.com with the promo code CityCast. Terms and conditions apply. Thanksgiving was last week, and boy, did we hit the bottom of the well in conversation in my house. We got through the meal, we got through the dessert. I thought about walking the dog again because we were out, we were dry. so we ended up, my wife saved the day and was like, the Charlie Brown specials are on Apple TV now. Let's watch those. No. And everybody shut up and we watched them, and it was wonderful. And there's that reminder that those stories that have been a part of your childhood or a part of your holidays for a long time, pulling them out feels different every year. There's something special about revisiting and discovering something new. And I sincerely hope that Dean Holt is discovering something new, because this man has been a part of Grinch-related productions since 1994. He's back at it again this year. He doesn't even have time to shovel his driveway, let alone a winter market. He's the director of this show that's at the Children's Theater, and he's also playing the role of Old Max. Dean, welcome to CityCast Twin Cities. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
And now let's get clear. You were in this production in 1994. Is that correct?
Yeah, my very first season at the theater. I came out of college. I was going to do this 1-year gig at Children's Theater Company, and that was one of my shows that season. And here I am 30 years later still doing the same deal. But yeah, it was really cool because we were building everything from the ground up. The script was being written, the music was being figured out, and none of us knew it was going to be sort of the hit and the thing that it was. So the set was not even constructed the first year to be brought back. It was sort of a one and done show. And so we had to figure out how to cut this giant set apart to store it so we could do it year after year and make it a tradition.
So the Grinch movie existed, the Grinch book existed. Y'all in 1994 were the first to bring it to the theatrical stage. Is that correct?
Yeah, the only thing that existed was the 66 cartoon. So the Jim Carrey thing had not happened yet. So, what we were basing it on was that original, like you say, those specials that we used to watch as kids and that are so much a part of our lives. So that was all new to us.
What makes the story of Grinch enduring, do you think?
It's sort of a balance of what our optimistic selves are. We all wish we could be those utopian who's that are just happy regardless of what happens to them. That cartoon is so pure. And yet I watch it every time and I can't help but get tears in my eyes because it's such a pure, simple journey. And seeing that piece of the Grinch that's in all of us get transformed by a child, by a world of hope and optimism that you just have to open your eyes to and say, hey, I'm going to look at the world a little differently now. That's a pretty special thing. So I think it endures because of its simplicity, but also because we all strive for that idea of what the holidays really are and sort of validating the fact of past, present, and future. These things are unique to us as humans, our ability to reflect on what has been, to celebrate what we're doing right now, and to hopefully look forward to what we're going to do next year with our Christmas traditions.
Life is a spectrum, the Who at one end, the Grinch at the other end.
Yeah.
Dean, you've been doing this for too long to lie to me. Okay, you started this in 1994, and you've been at the Children's Theater throughout your career. You're the director. Can you please tell me something you truly love about directing children and something you truly hate about directing children?
Oh, interesting. All right. So I will tell you, the thing that I truly love is the fact of creating those aha moments, and this is not only about the show, but it's also the moments of like where you connect with a student and they really understand what it is you're trying to help them learn in that moment. And you see the light bulb go off and you know that you've given them something they can put in their tool bag, whether they go into theater or go into some other career path. The skills, the moments they get to have as far as confidence building and public speaking and just creativity and imagination, like to me, that is the greatest gift. And as I've gotten older and as I've had kids of my own, my perspective has shifted from being one that is looking for what the theater and the roles can do for myself and more about what I can do for the people around me. And that is what I love and why I keep working there. The challenge is that language thing of like some kids you connect with right away, some adults you connect with right away, and you can find that conduit and that avenue to what you're trying to do. And other ones, it's really a meandering path you have to go on to figure out how do I give the right amount of information and yet not overstep and give a line reading or tell them exactly how to do something. But yet sometimes it does come down to that because you realize with a show as simple and as beautiful as this is, the details count. And if the delivery is just a little bit off, it really can diminish what the audience feels and what the other characters feel. So it's a balancing act, but that to me is one of the bigger challenges is just figuring out that language with each individual within the cast.
I'm surprised you did not say that stage parents weren't the worst thing about working with children.
The theater, being around as long as it has worked out a pretty good system to make sure that the work and what we're doing in the room is the goal and the most important thing. So, luckily we've not had terribly many experiences like that.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm curious if you feel like the Grinch is having a moment, like a pop culture moment, like she's a diva, and there's so much merch about the Grinch. There's a Build-A-Bear of the Grinch. I don't know who's buying their children that, but like, why is he such a cultural figure, a sellable cultural figure?
It's literally everywhere. Like, and that has even been from last year to this year. I even noticed, like, as far as merchandise, I go places and last year, a kid gave me a Grinch spatula as a gift for one of our secret Who things. Or whatever. I'm like, why are they making a Grinch spatula? You know what I mean? Like, it's everywhere. And I think what's funny to me is this whole message of the show is about, commercialism, capitalism, and all that stuff. And here we are merchandising the heck out of this show. So it's interesting. And I wonder what Dr. Seuss would think about that. When we first did the show, like I say, we were the very first theater in the world to have the rights to do a Dr. Seuss show. That was the 500 Hands of Bartholomew Cubbins. He came and saw the work the theater was doing and said, I want this company to do my work. So, I mean, that's pretty unique. Yeah. And the fact that we did that with Grinch then, but now, like I say, you go everywhere. And so I think there's certainly money to be made with Dr. Seuss, but I think it's there because it's a familiar thing. We all like those moments and those things that are familiar to us. So I think the Grinch is a character that we can all tie some sort of a memory to. So I think that's why it endures and is everywhere. I think it's just a fun character, a fun world. And so, but boy, it's everywhere. I agree.
Would you buy your child a Grinch Build-A-Bear?
I might.
Okay.
I actually might. Yeah. Yeah. I'm weird. Yeah.
Is it under $150 at Patina?
It's $38 on buildabear.com. That does not include the clothes.
Yeah, and if I have a glass of multiplier, I'll definitely be buying one. Yep.
Dean Holt plays Old Max in this production of The Grinch, which he has been doing different parts of since 1994. And that show runs at the Children's Theater through January 4th, and tickets are available now. Dean, we really appreciate you joining us, and happy holidays. I hope you do get to shovel your driveway a couple times before the end of the production.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Do you think of public radio as serving all Americans? Did you even know that that's part of their mission? That's what they're trying to achieve, and that's what they were trying to achieve when they started in 1970. Have they achieved it? My spoiler answer is I don't know. They have not. A couple more questions. Do you think of public radio as inherently white? Laura Garbus, who is a scholar and professor at the University of Minnesota, released a book this year that's titled Listeners Like Who? Exclusion and Resistance in the Public Radio Industry. And our own Sam Choo was on a panel last month with Laura Garbus at the University of Minnesota talking about the book and expanding upon that. Sam, at that event, what was the best question you heard?
The best question, I think, was just, is there any way to change it? Is there any way to make public media, public radio more broad and appeal to more than white, affluent, older, well-educated Americans? The book goes through a number of public radio worker accounts as far as like what the experience is being a person of color working in public media and how public media covers or brings people of color onto the air and how they're represented. She was a PhD student where she was just researching public radio, and she dove into a public radio archive that picked up everything that National Public Radio had throughout history and really looked at kind of the numbers of how many times did public media have people of color on, or what is the attrition rate of people of color working in public radio.
Sam, we worked together briefly at Minnesota Public Radio. I don't know about briefly, actually. We worked. Would you use the word briefly? We worked together.
No, it was like a decade, I think. Just concurrently.
Sam, for a lifetime, we worked together in public radio. I don't want to guess what your experience was like. And you were just saying that your experience had a lot in common with the folks that Laura Garbus interviewed for this book. What were the through lines, the things that you had experienced in your time in public media that you also heard echoed in these interviews in the book?
I mean, a lot of it was just how much does a person of color's voice carry in the room or in the editorial process as far as like, what takes should we have or what voices should be represented? Laura talked to a number of people who also did like source tracking, which is something that we did at Minnesota Public Radio in the newsroom, just to see like what is the gender breakdown for who we have on the air, what as far as what our experts might look like, what is their race, what is their community that they're representing. Like our audience, it was very, very white, highly educated, so college-level degrees, more than the median level income for the U.S., so fairly wealthy, and older, skewing much older. So we'd be interviewing CEOs or other people in high official titles, which take decades to get to. So we really ran into kind of this roadblock of how do we get other people on the air, and trying to be that voice in the newsroom to push for a broader scope or a broader definition of who we consider an expert to be, was definitely something that Laura captured in her interviews.
I used to intern at NPR where my entire job was tracking the diversity of sources and encouraging reporters.
Yeah, you did.
And my whole job was getting people to talk to people of color, and it was like pulling teeth. It was crazy. I was like 20 in the newsroom. I had my little PowerPoint, and I'd go, please use this tool that I make every day that I'm here that tells you exactly who you can talk to that is a person of color. And then I would hear the reporters go, I don't have a lot of time for that. And I go, great.
Yep.
I'm being paid $14 an hour in DC.
Like what kind of, I remember you in that internship and what you were doing. Like what kind of responses were you getting? What were people telling you as far as like why?
It was a lot of like well-intentioned people who would be like, oh, this is great. I'm glad we have this. I'm glad you're doing this. But like now and again, I think the real truth was like, yeah, we're on deadline. We're booking a show for like 2 p.m. Like we just need the person who's going to answer the fastest and the person who is the most well-known. And usually that person is like a white male professor, or they just don't have the time, I guess, to do the digging for a very specific source about like baseball that also happens to be a person of color, which I suppose that I understand that. But I think for the most part, I felt like people were sort of overlooking my work as like a nice to know, and the interns who also created this website and this database of like, that's nice, but also like I'm on deadline.
Yeah, and I remember when we rolled that out in the newsroom, a lot of people felt like it was really aspirational and something that we should do, and also mostly impossible, and they didn't know how to do it.
We are talking right now about a lot of the difficulties of making a sea change within the people working in public radio and going, hey, it's important to seek out different voices, not always maybe the CEO, and find people at different levels and redefine what expert means. And we aren't yet tackling the fact that maybe that's not what's wanted by the audience, that there's this sense that, particularly with this funding model, which is to say the funding comes largely from affluent people who can spare some money to send off every month or every year to public radio, to public media, that then those are the folks who really have a lot of say-so in the organization. They don't work at the organization, but they're the ones who are naming the studios. They're the ones who are funding a lot of the big projects. And they may be consciously or unconsciously interested in both hearing white voices or hearing voices that are very comforting to white people. That is not the same funding model that happens at a lot of other organizations, but it's what happens in public media. Sam, I think that Laura Garbus sort of looks at that and actually goes, the funding model makes it maybe uniquely difficult to make progress in this regard. Did you experience that in talking with Laura Garbus or in just living your life as a person of color in public media?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely comes into play as far as like something that people understand that we're trying to serve our audience. And when we think about our audience, we are thinking kind of about our primary audience, which inside baseball terms, we called P1s, which were the older, affluent, highly educated Minnesotans around that would be most likely to engage with us and listen to us the most, because NPR just skews for that kind of audience. But one of the last things that I did at Minnesota Public Radio was this big report that looked at all of our different broadcasting organizations as far as like what our donor base is and who we should be including in our audience. And all of our research through like different studies about like audience development and racial profiling and demographics for how the nation's going to grow and change. The US and Minnesota are just becoming more brown. Like there are fewer white people that are only white. There are more like multiracial families, and there are more people of color moving into Minnesota to come to the promise of Minnesota nice and see if they can build a new future and family here. And so we were really making the case that it was a mission critical imperative for us to include and hire and retrain people of color. Because if we don't have people who look like me and Tiffany or Denzel or any number of other folks, then we're not going to be able to really serve them well, or we might do possibly more harm than we can good, because that's something that has happened in public radio.
I certainly hope folks who are thinking about doing that work pick up this book from Laura Garbus, Listeners Like Who, Exclusion and Resistance in the Public Radio Industry. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think about public media and its role in our country? Let us know by texting or leaving us a voicemail on the CityCast Twin Cities hotline, 612-217-0637. You might hear your comments in one of our upcoming mailbag segments. We have a lot more news to discuss. Before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. I strongly believe the reason the Twin Cities punches above its weight in the arts is the long winters. You turn the space heater on, you cue up the Pro Tools or your acoustic guitar, and you make some music. And you might do it all by yourself at first, but at some point, you want some company. And for Carlisle Evans Peck, that meant opening up the attic in South Minneapolis to musician friends to make a new album. That new album is called The Lines in My Hands, and we're going to hear a little bit of the tune Lover, I'm An Anthem, and some words from Carlisle Evans Peck about the tune.
Hey, Twin Cities. I'm Carlisle Evans Peck, and you're about to hear my new song, Lover, I'm an Anthem. I have really loved performing this song, and folks have really loved hearing this song. And I'm excited to finally release it. And I just wanted to share a little bit about the recording process of it. I decided this song and the rest of the album that it's a part of, they came out of pandemic lockdown. I thought it was much more appropriate to record in a house. So I gathered a whole assortment of incredible Twin Cities musicians and took over the course of 2 years recording these songs, crammed up in the little attic of the house I was living in South Minneapolis. And the results, I think, are really special, a really special set of songs. And you can hear in some moments the house. You can hear the street. You can hear the environment. And I think that's really key and integral to these pieces. So I hope that you enjoy Lover, I'm An Anthem.
Careful what you give to me. I'm a room on fire. Bolt the door and lose the key. Honey, I'm dark matter.
This album sounds like it was made with friends in an attic. You can hear count-offs being discussed. You can hear a little bit of street noise. You can hear the cello float in a little bit above the mix. Maybe the player was closer to the mic than the bass player was. It's epic, but it's attic epic. Peck and Company are celebrating the release Thursday night over at the Cedar Cultural Center. McCain Lackey and Proper T, who I love, main vocalist for Astral Black and Zulu Zulu, are opening up the show. Check out the show notes for a link to Carlisle Evans Peck's new single, Dance Macabre. Big thanks to Carlisle Evans Peck for sending over the music. You can send yours our way over at twincities.citycast.fm under announcements. That's all for today here on CityCast Twin Cities. I'm your host, Sean McPherson. Dean Holt, Sam Choo, Tiffany Bowie, thanks for being here today. You can get more news delivered right to your inbox by subscribing to the CityCast Twin Cities newsletter. If you enjoyed today's show, why not share this podcast with the Grinchiest person in your life? We'll see you back here tomorrow for more news from around the city.